In today's video, I'm going to show you the quickest way to unlock the Bene Gesserit from start to max level in Dune Awakening. I have a quick guide like this for every class on my channel, plus I have a written version on our website that you can check out if you prefer having a written format on another screen. We'll be using that guide as a reference as well, and it's also down in the description if you're interested. And now let's jump into the video. Just to cover basic knowledge, you have two kinds of trainers in Dune Awakening. You have the basic trainer and the advanced trainer. The basic trainer has one quest which unlocks the skill line, and the advanced trainer does all the other leveling. They're located outside of Haga Basin. So we'll start with the basic trainer, which means you didn't pick Bene Gesserit. If you did pick the Bene Gesserit already, you can't do the first quest, and you just are going to start with quest 2 right off the bat, Sacred Records. So let's jump into it. Quest 1, the missing pieces. So if you're watching this early on in your character development, I usually say when I would do these quests, like the Trooper can be done very early, for example, in Mentat, whereas the Swordmaster and the Bene Gesserit are done later. The Bene Gesserit is the most difficult of all of them for its basic quests. It's later in the game. Where it starts is here at Helios Gate. This is an Atreides outpost. You will come in here and talk to Sister Mesa. I usually say, again, when you should pick these up, and I would be doing it probably at the same time you're coming up here to get Swordmaster, and Swordmaster's located right here, and then our Bene Gesserit, what we're concerned with, is right here. When you pick up one, you should get both. These two stations are very close to each other. When you should do it, probably after Iron, maybe when you're chasing Steel. The whole Iron phase is done in Vermilius here. This was in the open beta, and Carbon is going to make you Steel, and you're going to be coming up to this area. So that's around when you're going to want to do it. This whole area is quicksand, and you get stuck in there with the vehicle, you're going under. You want to avoid that. So you either come around this way, or ideally when you come up to Northwest Vermilius, or if you build your base up here, this is kind of your easiest access point. There's a giant cliff here, and Helios Gate is on top of that cliff. So you can either take your sand bike around, go here and then here, or you could just climb it too with a Shigawire. But moving into our quest, that's about when you should do it, around the Steel phase. And this is going to be more difficult, by the way. You can kind of skip around, so you can maneuver these things if you're a bit more experienced, but the mobs you'll be fighting for this intro quest are tougher. The first thing you're going to be requested to do from Sister Mesa, who's just inside town, by the way, you really can't miss her. If you come in from the north side, which is the front door, she's going to be right inside on the left. Base level floor, she kind of sticks out. You're going to talk to her, pick up a quest. She's going to be sending you west to the Udham, if that is how you pronounce it. So we're going from here. You're going to get two things over here. A text and I think a hilt. I'm not sure. Something with a sword. The text is, I think, Lisan Agib. So we're going over here. And there's a cavern just inside. Right here. It's Stepstone Village. That's our first point. You only really need to kill one guy. I mean, you could skip him too. Again, if you're kind of under-equipped and doing this super early, you could just go in the doorway, you kind of just hug right, and you can just Shigawire up. And it's on a ledge. Once you pick that up, it's going to update you to get the other quest piece, which is going to involve coming over here. This is, again, high up. This is in Rockwarren Village. And it's actually just beyond Rockwarren Village. You have to go inside a little cave, and you go up there. I think I got pictures. Yeah, we have pictures here. So this is the first one. Again, it's up on a ledge. And then when we go into Rockwarren, again, you could skip these things and just fire up. The way most everything's built in this whole territory, Udham, is it's very vertical. You go inside a building and you're really going vertical immediately for the later things. I also mentioned in here, when you get this second item, which is in this box right here, there is what seems to be like an empty trial room back here. There's a nice chest in there that will have some good loot. So while you're here, make sure you go over there and get that loot. It's a little bonus. But once you've done all that, you get item 1, item 2, you're good. You're coming back to Sister Mesa, you turn it in, and you unlock the Bene Gesserit. Now we've completed that. We've unlocked the Bene Gesserit tree, which has great passives, some awesome skills, very powerful. We're going to move on to quest 2, and this is going to be the advanced Bene Gesserit. So, this is in Harco Village. You can either fly here with an ornithopter. And generally at this point, I usually recommend if you're going to do any of the advanced trainers, they're all outside in the city hubs, and you can just fly outside the world map to do that. Or you go to a trade post and pay $2,500 per travel. Because that's going to add up a lot and it's just kind of a pain, I tell people you should go and get an ornithopter, and the rest of this guide will be done as such, like you do have an ornithopter. It's just going to save you a lot of time. But anyway, Harco Village is where we're heading for the advanced Bene Gesserit trainer. I have a little map here. You come in from the south of this map. You stay on the first floor. You just come all the way up here. There's a weapon merchant here when you hook a right at the end. And she's right there. Her name's Jocasta. You really can't miss her. So Jocasta Cleo is going to direct us to Mirzaba for the first quest. This is in Eastern Vermilius Gap. Now, another excellent trick I tell people is how we can travel more efficiently to speed this operation up. So you'll leave Harco Village. Cool thing about Harco Village too is you can just go out this exit. So that for one is going to speed you up. When you get outside here, we're going to Eastern Vermilius, and we're going to want to come in from this angle. So it does matter which side you approach in on. Coming in from here, we'll enter here. If I fly in up at 12 o'clock, I'll come in at the top, etc. I just like to explain this up front because a lot of people don't know that. Coming into things. Where we are headed is just underneath the hammer. So the Mentat quest took us here too. It's actually the same location. The same room. You'll fly in. If you fly in from the north, it's going to look something like this. You go right down the tunnel, you pick up a bracelet, go inside there. When we did the Mentat quest, we went in there to poison people in a we put it in a container. And in my Mentat quest guide, I said there's a hidden chest in the back. That's where we're headed. We're going up there to the hidden chest, and we're going to interact with this the list of naibs or whatever that we need to pick up for the quest. When you interact with this, it's going to update you and send you to the Stone Sentinel, which is a gigantic stone tower. So the Stone Sentinel, from here, it's right up here. So from here, we're going to fly up. And this kind of updates. This is like a 3-step process. You land on the east side, it'll update, I think, like the north and then the west. And it's really, really, really high. So you probably shouldn't fly your ornithopter. It consumes a lot of fuel, or you can just use the fuel. It doesn't matter. But I just park my ornithopter like on, I think the second tier, because it'll say like you're at 700 meters and you're still going up. This is a really, really high point. I think it's the highest point in Haga Basin. But this is a good, if you don't have the high mobility type concepts down pat, you know, check out my build. I have the whole Shigiwire and Planetologist and how you can double leap. You can climb this thing in like 10 seconds. So it's real easy, real quick. You climb up to the top. When you get up there, you'll have this you interact with, and you'll take this back. And this is going to advance us to Bene Gesserit too. But again, when you're leaving here, you're close to the north. So fly out the north side, put you back on the world map, and we'll come down to Harco Village and hand this back in at Jocasta. This will give us skill 2, and advancing Bene Gesserit early, in my opinion, is real useful because Bindu Sprint's great. I've seen some people downplay it because you will get an ornithopter to travel, but Bindu Sprint's ability to maneuver you through different areas is crazy, and it scales very well. So make sure you keep that one in mind in leveling. I would put points in it. It'll just help you move through the whole game in these early quests. That brings us to quest number 3, the Missionaria Protectiva. For this one, as noted here, you will need a scanner for this step. It needs to be handheld as well. The vehicle scanner will not work. You're going to need a handheld scanner. Now, if you did the intro quest, the first one, we're going to the same place. This is Stepstone Village. That's the very first spot we went in the first quest. So again, we can exit out the top. We come to the world map. Since we're going to Udham, we're probably coming in at 11. All right, 10 or 11, something like that. You're going to drop in up here. Where we are going is right here. So, real quick ride. You come to the entrance here. And we go up to the top room in here. Again, if you have Shigiwire, you can actually bypass a lot of the guys. There will be people up in this room, but you can just come up here too. interact with the quest, it's going to say, hey, you need to scan it. You end up scanning it, and it'll trigger completion and take us to your next step, which sends you just south of here to the House of Ilum. House of Ilum is just yonder this way. So actually, I don't even think it's, I think it's like right here. You're going to shoot just below House Ilum. You can actually park outside. This is kind of like an outpost, even though everything's done in rocks here and they're not actually like metal outposts. It's functionally like a place that has like an ID band that you would go in. You don't need to do that. There's actually a hole where you can just come in the side here, quickly interact with this, and exit. So this can be done very quickly. But you can clear it out too and get the intel, and that might be of preference to you. If you're not well equipped for it though, and you're kind of doing these early, although you should have an ornithopter now, and with aluminum, this area is fine. But that's pretty much it. You wrap that up, fly out the northwest, right through the way you came in, and same route back, turn it in, and this unlocks level 3. So again, max out your Bindu. But this is great, and this is going to take us now to the capstone abilities. On to quest number 4, the impact of ecology. This is going to unlock a capstone. We're again going to talk to Jocasta. She's going to send us to testing station number 71. Now this is in Udham, so same thing. We're just going to go right out the top, come here and fly in probably at like 10. Come in at 10 o'clock, and up here we are going to, this is testing station 71. So we'll just pop right on over to that. This one, once you arrive, you enter the ground tunnel. Yeah, 71, you're pretty much going to just hug left in here. You're going to need all the bracelets. You got to clear through this whole dungeon. So this is a whole eco lab, but it's not a huge one. Like, you go into the left, you clear a wing, you get a bracelet. You go to the right, you clear a wing, get a bracelet. Then you go to the center room. You get jumped by like 5 guys in there. It's one of those doors. Once you go through, you can't go back out, and you're just fighting a few people. So make sure you're prepared for that if you're doing it earlier game. Once you clear that out though, you will get Keen's book, which is what we're here for. Once you have that, you're gonna go back to Harco, speak with Jocasta again. So same thing, just backtrack. We're gonna go to Jocasta. I believe she's not here on this one. Yes, she's not gonna be at her spot. There's somebody nearby that says, hey, go. We get directed to the bar, which is right down the hall here. So we'll go to where she is, but she's not here. We'll go to the bar. There's a Syndicate mercenary back here. We'll talk with him. The Syndicate mercenary wants a drink. You can just buy this from the bartender who's right here. If you don't happen to have a spiced beer, just buy one from the bartender. Talk to him again. He will then, tell you about stuff. I think he wants to make a deal to get the Bene Gesserit. I think I just didn't go along with him, found out about the ambush. He's trying to ambush her, and we're going to go back again to finish this quest. Pretty much the same spot. Fly back in, 10 o'clock. This time, it's going to direct you up here. I just flew in here with my ornithopter, and it updated and had me talk to her. She was like right next to it, and she thanks me for killing them. I personally didn't kill them. I didn't even see them. I just kind of flew by. But either way, you're either going to do that or kill the ambushers. They'll be right in that area. You talk to her, and then she ninja vanishes away, and you have to go back to Harco once again, and then you can finish this quest. So it's a bit of back and forth, but if you hop in at 10 o'clock, it goes pretty quick, other than the test facility, and that will be that. You'll get Litany Against Fear, which is a really good mitigation skill. That takes care of quest number 4. On to quest number 5, Secrets of the Syndicate. This one's going to have us traveling around a lot. We talked to Jocasta back in Harco Village, and we are heading out to the world map. We are going to shoot in around 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, somewhere up here. It's going to put us up this way. The first place we're going to is the Slant. So we're going to fire over here. The Slant is just over the border. This is a small little camp. There is a book inside to read. The Slant's like a small 2-stack base, and you go on the second floor. It's like the only indoor room. It's a very tiny base. Pop in there real quick, read the book. It's going to send us to our next waypoint. We have quite a few to visit here. Next up, we're going to Sentinel City, which is under the giant stone that reaches into the sky. That's right over here. It's pretty much an open hangar that's kind of built into the mountain. You just come in, you can land on the top of it, knock out the guys. There is a scroll sitting in a crate. Just pop down, read that. Very easy, very straightforward. They're going to send you to another point. Really hope you got the ornithopter before you're doing this. We are going now to Sheol, down to one of the wrecks. This is going to be a PvP area, though it's not too bad. So we're going to fly all the way down here now. The wreck is just beyond. There is a little like Harkonnen outpost here. It's filled with aggressive, people. It's not like a you could park there. This is a PvP area if you're not comfortable parking in the PvP area, but like this is a tiny wreck. It's pretty much one of the wrecks there. It's half open. There's like 4 things inside. You can just land, pop in there, knock out the 4 things, and read the book. It's in the back. Very straightforward. Come out and get out. You don't need a radiation suit for this. There will be radiation, but you're in there so short of a window that you don't need a radiation suit for this. So that's that. That's what that looks like. That's that picture of that room. And then lastly, we're getting shot north to Missionaria at the Kala Cavern. It's going to be a straight shot north from here, up this way. This cavern, this is the same, almost the same location as the first quest. If you had to do the unlock quest, the basic one, and you pretty much have to come in on ground level, punch through the cavern at the bottom. It will update the quest, which sends you up on the top. And at the top, you come up above the cavern to like mid-level. This is like a 3-story type stone mountain. And on the mid-level, you'll get ambushed by the leader and 2 people. Knock them out. That will complete it. This is a quest that just has you popping around a lot. There's a lot of activity. Bene Gesserit quests are very long compared to some of the other ones. They are much longer. But that's it. We do that. We recover what we finally need, and you can just jump right out of here. And now we're going back to Jocasta, back in Harko Village. Our final quest. Quest 6, the Rogue Bene Gesserit. After all these longer quests, comparatively speaking to the other unlock quests, we finally have something that's kind of easy, but because it's the Bene G, they're still going to make it much longer than its counterparts. You're going to just have to use skills. You have to use the voice. And as I mentioned here, the only voice skill that worked for me was Compel. So we're pretty much going to go and spam Compel. All the other classes, you do this 3 times. For the Bene Gesserit, they want you using the voice about 15, 20 times. I didn't even keep count. I lost count. But also, unlike the other ones, we need a target, because Compel, you have to target something. So you can fly in anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I show a picture of what I did. I just went to a location and got up high somewhere against like a melee guy, and I just sat here spamming Compel and waiting for the cooldown. If you want to if you're trying to rush through the quest, that's kind of your fastest way. You probably want to use your spice prescient state here. It will lower the cooldowns of your skills, and it'll allow you to move through this much faster. So I throw that in there as well. I would definitely do this. This takes a bit. After that, you have to do Litany Against Fear. You use that about 10 times as well. Once you're done all that, you're good. Back to Harko. When you arrive at Harko Village, you got to talk to Margot Fenring. And then eventually you're just going to go back to Jocasta. This is it. You're done. It ties it up. Also, at the end of all this, you get the a disruptor pistol, which is kind of like a charged pistol. It's reminds me of the Halo charge up plasma gun, but it hits really hard. I kind of don't like it, but if you get used to it, it's actually probably pretty effective because the damage is quite high, and it's a disruptor weapon, so it's intended to break shields. So overall, it's actually a pretty good weapon. You just probably need to get used to it. Kind of like a burst drill shot. It has a delay on the front end of like at least I think about a full second. But anyway, that's it. That's the whole Bene Gesserit. It is definitely of the 4 classes the longest and the toughest. Some of them are really easy, so this one was a little more long-winded. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, anything's wrong, let me know in the comments, please. And please subscribe. Check out the other videos. I hope this was helpful. I will see you on the next one. Until then, take care.